Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strategica channel. My name is Lagato Skanse, your investment and financial advisor. Do remember that Strategica is licensed by the Central Bank of Lesotho as an investment and financial advisory firm. So this channel is dedicated to giving you guys financial tips, everything that has to do with loans, what you need to do when you're budgeting, how to save, how to invest, and everything else that's in between. But do remember that everything we discuss here does not constitute as advice, as advice is tailored for everyone's needs and is a bespoke solution. So if you do need assistance with that, do contact us or any other professional for that matter. So today we're going to be talking about saving for retirement, especially for persons who are self-employed one. So you might be working as a consultant, or you own your own business, or you are employed but are contracted. So that means that most of the time you do not qualify to be part of the employer-based fund, which would either be a provident fund or a pension fund. So we're going to be discussing the different options that you have and the disadvantages and advantages of some of the options that you have. So normally if you are contracted, your employer normally gives you at the end of the term of your contract. So you might find that some contracts are renewable every 3 or 5 years. So there still is a possibility actually that you might not get your contract renewed. So the best thing that we do while our contract is still being renewed is to make sure that we save some more. So the first option that you have for you is to, one, you can open up your own investment account. So what happens is at the end of your contract, hopefully when your first contract term ends, you take the entire lump sum, which might either come as a combination or one of either your severance benefit or a gratuity. So you take that and then you take the lump sum and open up a pre-investment account. We've talked a number of times about opening up investment accounts and how flexible they are. So the advantages of having a fixed investment that you are actually contributing to is, one, the fact that it's not linked to an employer means that you have this fund that is waiting for you and is growing and is getting money accumulated for you for your benefit whenever you need it in the future for your retirement. Two, if ever there are any emergencies and you desperately need money, you can have access to that fund, and it pays out within 3 working days maximum. So it also solves the liquidity challenge from your point of view, because sometimes you're pressed for time and you actually need that money readily available. So being able to access money within 3 working days is actually quite good. So then you find that also in terms of the investment options, with the help of a professional advisor and knowing that you want to be saving this for retirement, they can help set up a portfolio for you that is highly concentrated in growth assets and capital appreciation to help you grow your income and grow that fund actually as much as you can. So another advantage of this is, beyond just having your contributions being linked to that lump sum that you receive at your end of your contract, you can also have a debit order, or you can do additional voluntary additions or contributions towards this particular fund. So that means you are on top of the lump sum that you got or that you're getting whenever your contract gets renewed. You put that lump sum in, you have the additional monthly contributions that you can add, and you have additional voluntary or ad hoc contributions that you can do to the fund, which happen whenever you have extra cash of money, then you can just throw it in there. So that is quite advantageous. So anyone who is either self-employed, so self-employed means that you probably do not have a proper fund in place for yourself, or you're contracted, as we have said. So this could be an option that works for you. So the second option would be to have a retirement annuity. In the last video where we were talking about the different options that are there for people in terms of speeding up their retirement savings, we talked about a retirement annuity as well. So this is another form of a retirement fund. It is legislated in South Africa, so please be aware of certain specifications and exclusion. So the first thing that you need to consider with a retirement annuity is that if the lump sum at retirement, which is the retirement age in a retirement annuity fund, is age 55, if you get to age 55 and then you find that the lump sum in that particular investment vehicle is less than 247,500, then you can take the entire amount and withdraw it. However, if you get to age 55 and you actually find that the investment interest or your total investment amount when you get to age 55 is over that 247,500, then it means you need to buy an annuity. So it means you can only access a third of that money, as a lump sum, and then the 2/3 would be used to actually go buy what we call a voluntary annuity. So please be aware of those conditions. Even though at some point, if you do find that the annuity is not working for you, you can then commute that annuity. First fallback with a retirement annuity fund is that one, the retirement age is age 55. So if you're not 55 years of age, you cannot have access to that fund, right? So that is the first disadvantage. But on the other hand, this is also an advantage for people who are less disciplined, because then it means you can commit money up until you are 55 without having any access to it. So you will be saving money in that particular fund, and the investment will be growing, and you won't actually be dipping into it, and which would affect its returns. So that is also a double-edged sword there, where to some people it's a disadvantage, and to some people it's actually an advantage. So like I have just said, you cannot access the funds up until you're age 55 in a retirement annuity fund. So I'm going to be saying a lot of annuity, so please bear with me. Pause if you need to take a breather, and be sure that we are able to draw the distinction. So when you do get to retirement, right, now you need to get that what we call pension income or your annuity income. So what you do is that with a retirement annuity fund, when your fund benefit, all right, when you get to age 55 and then you find that your interest or your entire fund is less than 247,500, you can actually take it as a lump sum. So you will take the whole benefit, take it as a lump sum, and then it will be taxed as your income, and then after taxes you will have access to the entire amount. But if I get to age 55 and I have 500,000, for instance, in this particular fund, I can only take a third of the 500 as a cash lump sum, and the 2/3 will be used to purchase an annuity. So an annuity, now you're moving from the retirement annuity fund and now you're moving into an annuity which gives you regular income. So an annuity, this is where now you're purchasing the regular income. So even though because this is actually a voluntary annuity that you're doing out of your own choice, if ever you feel you're unhappy with this regular income, you can still commute that annuity and then take it as a lump sum, and then you and whoever was giving you that annuity cut ties. So do remember that that is also possible with a voluntary, and I repeat, with a voluntary annuity. Whereas a compulsory annuity, this is the one that you took through a pension fund and you had to as per the fund rules of that particular fund. So in that case, you cannot commute that annuity. So remember, at retirement, with a retirement annuity fund, you cannot access the entire fund value if your interest in that particular fund is more than 247,500. So one other advantage is that, for instance, if you are in South Africa, you will have this fund being tax deductible, meaning that your contributions towards these, since they were done with after tax income, they will actually, when you're getting that annuity will not be taxed. But for some of us who actually have different tax regimes, you find that I am investing my after-tax income, so there's also that possibility of double taxation, because then the interest and the dividends and the capital appreciation, your capital gains tax, will get charged on this particular fund as well. You might also want to consult a tax practitioner in terms of looking at the tax implication of actually investing in a retirement annuity with your after-tax income that you're getting from your income. So that is also something that we need to consider from a tax liability perspective. So one of the main things that we talked about when we started this video is that you are saving for retirement. So saving for retirement, guys, means that it is what delayed gratification, actually, to put it simply. Delayed gratification in the fact that it is a sacrifice today to go putting away money for the future. And I know most people like asking, what if I don't get to age 55? What if I don't do this? But what if you actually do? What if you actually live to be 100? And we all know that retirement age in most of these corporates and companies is age 65. It means from age 65 until the age that you're 100, you're going to need capital to be sustaining your life. And unless you plan today, it's going to be quite a very hefty price that you'll be paying when you want to now be planning for retirement, because you thought at age 20 you won't live until you are 50. Now you're actually 55, and then you're looking at retirement in 10 years time, and then that picture is very, very ugly. I know we do have a lot of clients who never ever took retirement planning quite seriously, and then now they're nearing retirement, and then they're realizing that what they actually thought they were putting aside is not enough, and now they are caught with trying to catch up. And catching up is a very expensive game that most of us actually cannot afford. So starting at a young age means we can start small. 500 a month today goes a very long way in the future when it comes to saving for your retirement. So remember, like we always stress, we are talking about the time value of money. We are talking about compound interest. The more you put away, the more interest you earn. The more your interest earns money, the more your contributions earn money. And we have said you are earning money while you sleep. Interest or income comes in the form of your dividends. It comes in terms of capital appreciation by your investment increasing in value, and then we also have actual interest that is paid out. And I can never stress enough how it's important to be taking advantage of some of these investment vehicles that are available to us. We have a tax-free savings account, for instance, where any income or distributions within this particular savings are tax-free. So this means as much as you will be contributing towards this with your after-tax income, but whatever you get from this particular tax-free investment comes tax-free. And remember, there are also terms and conditions with that. I will probably discuss it in another video where we're talking about the different investment vehicles that you can start thinking of. But like I have said, please do remember that retirement planning, as young as you are or as old as you are, is probably something that most people do not think about or plan for. So do seek that advice or professional consult, or just consult, just to find out where you are in terms of your retirement savings. Are you on the right track? Are you actually behind your target? Or are you actually, you have actually been able to put enough aside to be able to cover your wishes at retirement? I know most of us talk about traveling. We can't wait for the day that we don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get to work and work up until 5 p.m. But how does that look like? Are you able to fund you sitting down at age 65, relaxing, traveling, seeing your grandchildren? Are you ready for that? And are you actually going to be able to afford that? So please do remember that these are the things that we need to start thinking of from as young as we can, so that we make sure that we meet our retirement goals and live a sustainable and financially free life. So see you next time, and bye.